I knew going into this season, after all the summer transfers we'd done, money was perhaps going to be a little bit tight. Even with the Scott Williams transfer instalments every 6 months, we were going to lose money. We're losing quite a lot of money. Our overall balance is already down at £30,000. To put that in perspective, we've lost about £100,000 since the start of the season. So with that in mind, the FA Cup is extremely important. It is the competition that gets you the most money per round. And just earlier on this season, in the first round, we got close to £20,000 in gate receipts. Today we've got the third qualifying round of the FA Cup against Beaconsfield. If we win this, we're also doing the fourth round today. And if we were to win that, we'd go into the first round proper against Football League opposition. The number 13 is unlucky for some. Today is episode number 13. We need wins in the FA Cup. Let's see if we can make them happen. How is it going, folks? Happy Tuesday. Hope you're doing amazing. We're back here with Park to Prem, and today, as I've already mentioned, it's kind of an FA Cup special. The plan of attack today is to leave today with us in the first round proper, hopefully with the finances in a slightly bigger state. As much as I'm concerned about the amount of money we're losing, I think it is just worth reiterating we do have sellable assets, which is something that I couldn't have said in previous seasons. And I suppose a testament to that is the fact that our estimated value is at £140,000. We've brought in some players, they have some resale value, and whilst I don't really want to be selling our best players constantly, there is at least kind of a get-out clause to these financial problems, which we're not really under yet, but we could be in if we don't get promoted this year. Off the back of last episode, of course, we were hoping that promotion was going to be a reality, and so far, the start to the season has been very good. We won 7-5, 4-0, and drew 0-0 last episode. Since then, played a whole lot of football. One result stands out more than the others. We took on Truro away at the Lidl. We beat them 7-2. In this game, Carl Farquhar got a hat-trick, of course. He has signed a new contract to the club, the 18-year-old, and look at the development. Finally, we actually have players improving at our club. Doesn't really happen all that often when you have facilities like ours. So when you see a sea of green arrows like this at this lower level, you have to love it. The 18-year-old has had a great start to the season. 11 goals in 8 league games. An 8.15 rating. Yeah, it's not bad. After beating Truro, 2 further wins. The first against Dorchester Town, a 2-0 win here. Will Merry and Farquad on the score sheet. After that, a win against Addons United. This game was at home. This was the game that set our record for gate receipts. Mabulu with an important goal. Farquad also ended up picking one up. At the end of the day, it was a performance made up largely of a good attacking display and a solid defensive display by our centre-backs. For this game, we were without Williams. Reggie Evans came into the team and impressed. The 18-year-old, I still don't think is better than Purcell, if I just compare the two of them here. But what I will say is, Reggie Evans is in the Media Dream 11. Purcell is not. You guys can let me know in the comments, which of these two centre-backs would you be playing? I've been sticking with Purcell for the most part, but actually it's really nice to have a player like Reggie Evans that I can just trust to throw in. After playing Addons United, we drew 2-2 against Swindon Supermarine. Not the best of performances this one. They battled back from behind twice, and well, we couldn't get a third all-important goal. And after that, we crashed out of one of the cup competitions we're in this year, the Southern League Cup. We lost a pool on penalties. To be honest, we were kind of lucky that we took it 2 penalties. We weren't good enough in this one. After crashing out the Southern League Cup, we went into the FA Cup where we took on Tooting and Mitcham United. Convincing result this one. Atkinson absolutely ran the show. The left winger, a player we've waited a long time to see come into the team. He has looked very, very good out on the left-hand side. Got a whole lot of assists in the FA Cup so far. 4 in 2 games. Going to hope that he can keep returning provider. But yeah, right now he is just locking down that left wing spot. After that flurry of cup games, we have finished things up with 3 league games and 3 league wins. The first was against Frome, 5-0. We then took on Moneyfields, who we were promoted with last year, beat them 4-0. Most recently, we took on Chesham United, a 2-1 win here. A good little result. Chesham, not a bad team by any means. Coming back from behind is always sweet, and as you can tell from the stats, it was a rather dominant display. So right now, we are top of the league table. 9 games played, 7 wins, 2 draws, at plus 23 goal difference. Really gives you an idea of how dominant we've been. And whilst the FA Cup last year was a bit of a distraction, this year it's something that I think we can afford to pour some resources into. Perhaps worth acknowledging Bognor Regis, Salisbury, both also unbeaten this year. A couple of teams doing really, really well. They have also got games in hand, which if they win, will put them just 2 points behind us. In terms of goal scoring, Farquad is not the top goal scorer in the league. That goes to Bradley Lethbridge, who has been single-handedly carrying Bognor Regis this year. 13 goals in 8 games for this man. He has looked very, very solid for them. Elsewhere, you can see here, NLBM not too far behind. 6 goals in 7 league games would ordinarily be extraordinary. Kind of gives you an idea of how many goals we're getting. The fact that our kind of starting strikers are averaging more than a goal a game each combined. In terms of assists, we've got Charlie Osborne in there, Tejera, and also Will Merry right up there in the player charts. Charlie Osborne scored a few bangers last episode. He's not been scoring as many goals, I'm afraid to say. But yeah, he's been chipping in with some really good performances from centre mid. At the moment, at least, he is looking worth the £350 a week. Now, since last episode, I have made one new addition to the team. He's yet to play for us. He's making his debut in this first game. Alex Iwomene. I feel like he's been on trial for the last 3 months. The Polish youngster, a player who wanted £700 a week at one point. Well, no one else wanted him. He lowered his demands. We've picked him up for £150 a week. There is an optional contract extension after promotion. In terms of my plan with him, he's going to add a little bit of depth in the centre-mid department. And with his addition, I hate to admit it, it's a sad day for all involved. But Patrick Grooms will be leaving the club. He left his university education to join us. He announced he was going to leave on a free transfer. We had some bids on him. I don't need him at centre mid anymore. If I just compare him to Iwomene, I think this is a pretty good sign of the progression we're making as a club. Grooms just isn't good enough. Attendances for games this season have been very healthy. You can see Ashton United, we attracted almost 1,500 fans to the FA Cup first round at home. Hoping this game in the third round against Beaconsfield is going to be a similarly successful game in terms of attendances. They are a team that play in the same division as us. Media prediction of 21st. If we can win this one, which I think is more than possible, we are going to set ourselves up with a 4th qualifying round game. And like I've already mentioned, if you win that 4th qualifying round, you are into the first round proper of the FA Cup, where suddenly there is some fairly significant money. So yeah, would quite like to make it to that competition. And well, that's the plan of attack today. And for those wondering, Jack, what if you bottle this first game? Then we're just going to do the Whitby game because they're exotic. Whitby's a nice place up north. We've got them in the FA Trophy. That's kind of the plan B. It's not quite as glamorous as the FA Cup though. Good news for this first game against Beaconsfield. We have a pretty much full-strength team available. We've had an intense schedule. We've been rotating things around. I was thinking about giving Iwomene his debut today, but instead, I'm going to stick with a best 11. I really want to win this game. Great to see Vaughan recovering from his broken foot that he had at the end of last season. Meant that he missed all of pre-season and the start of this year, has only recently started to come back into the team. And of course, up front, we are going with NLBM and Farquad. In the FA Cup, we do get 7 subs on the bench, so Forbes makes the bench alongside the likes of Kai Livingston, Cameron Cox, Tejera and Iwomene as well. We suddenly have a whole lot of quality we can bring in if things aren't going our way. Gonna hope, fingers crossed, that isn't the case though. This should be a straightforward win. Let's make it happen. Good news, kick-off highlight. I say good news because we're in possession. Of course, they could equally go up the other end and score against us if we give away the ball. But we are on the offensive. Merry plays it to Kyle. Through on goal, the Lord holds it up, gives it back to Merry, who cuts inside and then does his best Harry Kane impression. Smashes it over the bar. 15 minutes played here. They're yet to have a shot on target. We've had 56% of the ball. It was as high as 62%. We are bossing possession, looking pretty good on the attack. But we do need to get a breakthrough, and the sooner that can happen, the better as far as I'm concerned. Atkinson's having a good game, as is Williams, and LBM also putting in a good shift. Allegedly, would quite like Football Manager to show me what they're doing, and well, they're going to have a chance to show us here what they're doing. Carl Farquad with the ball, of course. We are on our new pitch this year. It's shorter than last year, but it is still wide. The ball played through. Carl is through, and Clapp makes a really good save. 5 minutes left of the half. Beaconsfield maybe with an opportunity here. They are bringing forward the ball. Schaller plays it forward to Minhat, who was played onside. Dylan Crow, get the offside trap working, son. What is he doing over there? He's having a daydream, is Dylan. Atkinson to get it away from danger. A goal for either team here before half-time could be massive. Maybe an opportunity here. NLBM, the Frenchman, cuts inside, tries to kick it on the outside of his foot, and have the players been practicing rugby conversions? Our finishing has been poor today, and in fact, that poor finish is the last of the action we're going to see in a half that we have dominated in all but scoreline. I think it's a hands-on-hip kind of day. I'm not happy with the performance out there. The players look inspired and motivated. That's what I want to hear. I could overcomplicate things, but I don't think we need to. If we keep playing our game, if we keep playing how we've played in that half, we will find the breakthrough eventually. there is going to come a point here, and you know what, I've hit that point already. Tyler Forbes, on you come for Kyle. Kyle has been fine this year, but he's on a 6.5 as things stand. I need some international experience. Osborne has not been playing well in the midfield, so as we approach the hour mark, I'm going to make my second change. Iwamene, he's coming on for his debut. He was a player who I had my eye on all of pre-season. He wanted £700. No one wanted him. We've got him for a massive cut fee now. And while the Polish youth international is going to come into the team and show us what he's made of. Is it just me or is he giant? He looks big in the match engine. Dylan Crowe launching it long. Forbes can't get there, but Iwamene will win his header. Gives it to Merry. Ball played forward to Forbes. He's in behind the club captain. Rocking the armband. He's hacked down. We've got a penalty. Dylan Crowe's going to take it. With 20 minutes left here, a golden opportunity to take the lead. Dylan Crowe, the right back. He's on a 6.4. He's been poor. I'll tell you what, that's not a bad penalty. I mean, he's not hit it hard, has he? He has literally passed it in, but the keeper, it's like the keeper thought he was going to Panenka it. The keeper wasn't committing either way, and he might not have hit it with the most venom in the world, but he's found the bottom corner. I'm not going to complain. Have taken off Will Merry, bought in Kai Livingston, just some fresh legs out in the wide area. Merry wasn't having the best of games anyway. 9 minutes left. We're a goal to the good. We've not looked too under threat in this game, but it's probably worth just seeing things out, being a bit more sensible. Bit disappointing we've only been able to find a breakthrough via a penalty, but this is not a game we've ever looked like losing. And as the time continues to trickle away, I mean, they could still have a chance. Bycroft, lovely save by Jack. Full time here, 1-0 win, never really looked in doubt. They had a couple of chances towards the end, but we were always in control and always on top. If anything, kind of disappointed we only managed to get the one goal. The exciting thing now is actually going and checking our bank balance and seeing if we've made some more money. As you can see here, £5,000 made just for winning that game. Iwamene made his professional debut there. I didn't realise he'd never played a game of professional football before. I mean, congratulations, Alex. I probably should have taken a mental note of what the balance was before the game, but that's definitely a bigger number than it was. So attendance for the game was actually a little lower than against Ashton United, which is a shame. But as you can see here, that fourth qualifying round game has now been scheduled. That is the next game we're going to come back for. And it looks like, as a result of that, the game that was going to be a clash at the top of the table against Bognor Regis is going to have to be rescheduled. So we have got the FA Cup draw here. This is the point at which Vanarama National League teams get put into the hat. Wouldn't mind one of those teams. We want to be at home for this next game. That is the most important thing. I've just seen the 73 teams going into the hat with 32 games being drawn. I hope you can forgive me for this. I'm just going to hit draw all teams. Are we okay with that? If you've got any complaints, leave them in the comments. I won't read them. Draw all teams. Away against York City. Away against a team in the Vanarama National League. I'll be honest, as far as possible draws could go, an away draw to them, I don't think is good. Or do you get half the gate receipts with the FA Cup? I can't remember. Is that good or not? I have no idea. It's not an easy game. That's what I do know. Well, we've got a Vanarama national team to play in just a moment, so that's something to look forward to. And as I already suspected, Bognor Regis v ourselves, first versus second, is got to be delayed. That game's 3 days after our next FA Cup game. I'll tell you what, our schedule is looking brutal. We have got 2 games to play between now and that game against York. I'm going to go away and play those. We're coming back for the 4th round and winning this next one. We look massive. If we lose this, I'm just going to feel sad. Yeah, I'll join you for a trip to York in just a moment. So going into this second game against York, a midweek league game provided a distraction. I played a rotated team. It didn't work out for us. First, we should probably talk about the Whitby game. This one was straightforward. 3-0 win. Shatayo making a rare start this season. Great to see him get on the score sheet twice. Really good result here. Sadly, though, we couldn't make it 2 wins in 2 in the intermission because, well, for this game against Hungerford, I played a B team. And I want to say the B team let me down. The B team didn't let me down. Our goalkeeper did. Jack Bycroft has been really solid for us this year, but this moment here is one that he's going to want to forget. Evans with the volley. And Bycroft just drops into his own goal. They won 3-2, our first defeat of the season. A disappointing result. I really have to hope we now win this game against York. Otherwise, I have thrown away this league game kind of for nothing. I'm very excited for this game against York, not just because we get to test ourselves against Vanarama National League opposition, which in itself is going to be a test, although they are 23rd, but also because York built a new stadium a few years ago. I've not actually been to it, and I've not seen it either, so I guess it's time for me to do an away day. This might be the longest distance away day we've had to do so far, at least in an episode, because we are heading to York, and I believe, I'm hoping, yeah, the new stadium's here. I do know where I'm going, it turns out. So York moved into a new stadium really recently, and good news, we've got updated Street View for it. They have a Puttstars and a Cineworld next to the football stadium. I've never seen a cinema connected to a football stadium before. I'm not one to get intimidated easily, but they have got a mural on the outside of the west stand here. Look at this. They've got some guys playing football in the snow. York Cathedral there, although does York Cathedral really have a flat roof? Have they not finished the painting yet? Who knows? Elsewhere, there's some hand egg going on here. I think that's handball. There's a bowling alley next to the Puttmasters. Oh my word. York away day might be the best away day ever. Do we have to even go and watch the football? Can I just go watch a movie, do some bowling and go mini golf? There's a bloody water park next to the football stadium as well. If I was the real Guernsey manager and we had a York away day, the players can go play the game and manage themselves. I'm going to go play mini golf, watch a movie, go to the water park. I've gone onto Google Earth as well. Look at this. I'm beginning to understand why they were holding a rugby ball on the outside. I guess this is also used for rugby as well as football. I'll tell you what, York City fans, big fan of your stadium. On a Jack Dozen away day scale, 9.5 out of 10. I can go play my Football Manager game as a manager, go putting, go bowling, watch a cinema, go to a water park. I mean, it's a great time. Yeah, 9.75. I've upped it slightly. Now that I finished fantasising about my lovely day out in York, time to play some Football Manager. York City, the opposition. If this game is even after 90 minutes, it does go to a replay. I'm unsure how the revenue share of kind of ticket sales and stuff works in the FA Cup. In these stages at least. With that in mind, a replay might be the best result. Should I really play for a draw? I could do that. It kind of feels like a terrible idea. Instead, let's play a fully rested best starting 11. Like I already mentioned, we've dropped points by resting our best players. They are all available today. The one change I've had to make is Purcell is out. He was actually sent off at the end of that last league game. As a result, Evans, who I was talking about maybe bringing in anyway, is going to get a shot at centre-back. Very excited to see how the 18-year-old does. Besides that, though, it is a full-strength 11. Hopefully Jack Bycroft is going to catch footballs today. That would be nice. Just for a little bit of context, we have Cuuuup, who is York's key player on the left, versus Will Merry, who's our best player. A little bit of a gap in quality. Okay, it's more than a little bit of a gap. This is going to be hard today. York playing with a 4-3-3, not a formation we've played all that often. They are in some atrocious league form. I want to believe they're there for the taking. They are 2 leagues above us, though, so this isn't going to be simple. You could label it a bit naive, by the way, to stick with the 4-4-2 today with the wingers higher up the pitch, but ultimately, I want to play our game, try and take our game to them, and hope that that's enough. But we know the chips are stacked against us, and while Bycroft, he didn't catch it the first time of asking, I'll forgive him, he saved the rebound. The fact that York City have had a chance like that inside the first 10 minutes isn't ideal. Clifford with a throw-in for York. They have been in the ascendancy early on here. Nolan gets his header on it, but not really into a good area. Are we going to let the ball bounce? No, it's going to stay in the air forever. That is one of the weirdest highlights I've ever seen. I think there was maybe 7 different players touch that without the ball hitting the ground. You know what? Halfway through this first half, yeah, we've not had a shot on target yet, but it's still all even. The draw that I'm playing for is looking, I was going to say possible. They've just hit the woodwork. Maybe it's not looking quite as possible. Just looking at how this game's playing out right now, we are being battered. We've had 30% of the ball. I need to change some stuff up. One thing we really do like to lean into is the athleticism of our players, but at this level, playing against a better team, we don't have that athletical edge, and also we're on a smaller pitch today. So I think with that in mind, we're just going to try and slow things down a little bit more. I don't want to deviate too far away from what makes us, well, the team that we are, but equally I do feel like we just need to be a little bit more cautious in possession. We don't need to go as direct. We don't need to force as many errors as we do against, slightly lesser teams. Williams is already on a booking as well, but I can't take him off, can I? I've just got to keep him on and hope that he can keep his discipline. Corner for them. Cuuuup on the far post, whipping it in. I tell you what, Bycroft, I don't know if he's saved though, if that's hit the post. It looked weird, but it's away from danger. It's fine. Another throw in on this near side. Everything for them appears to be coming down the right. It's like they're targeting poor Dylan Crow. Right now he's on a 6.8, so maybe he is struggling a little bit. But you know what? There's 10 minutes left of the half. We've still not had a shot on target, but we're not losing this game yet. With how we're set up, all it takes is one ball over the top. One ball to one of our men to maybe, well, snatch a goal against a run of play. I say all of that. That has been coming, hasn't it? They've had a lot of corners in this half. They have now scored one. Osborne gets it forward. Carl Farquhar is in a race with Sanders. Unfortunately, Sanders is going to win it. If we were playing against teams in our current division, I back him to win that race. But, yeah, I mean, the York City players, they're good, basically, is the issue. I feel like the way that we're set up to play really works well against teams that have players who aren't as good as our teams. You know, we kind of just take our physical edge, but we don't have that physical edge here. We're playing against a team who play full-time football, have, you know, really significantly good players. And to be honest, with another Bycroft save there, it's kind of a miracle it's only 1-0 at half-time. I think we are going to have to change some stuff up, but ultimately, they've got better quality. I think we've kind of seen that on full display here. Half-time in this game, I don't want to say we're dead and buried, but we are flatlining quite literally on the XG chart. Yeah, let's change some stuff up. I do feel like our best chance in this game is just to get the ball forward quickly, catch them out as they overcommit forward. They've been, you know, really focusing in the wide areas, getting overlaps in there. So with that in mind, I'm going to do something that is potentially stupid, but having been defensive, tried to be a bit more, cautious, I suppose. It's not worked out in the second half of that first half. We weren't holding on to the ball any better than we were previously. With that in mind, it's time to hit balls long, get the ball forward quickly. I'm going to try trapping inside, I think, actually. I was thinking outside, but I don't know. We've been giving away too many corners. We don't have the best aerial ability at the back. Ultimately, this is a little bit of a roll of the dice. We're going to go direct, lump it long over the top of the defence, and hope we can score against the run of play, just overcommitting men forward. Sometimes attack is the best form of defence. I've tried defending. It's time to just throw men forward. I mean, there's a highlight early on. If we have a shot on target, I'd consider that a win. We have to get a goal from somewhere. We've not looked like scoring in that first half. So let's just go all-out attack and see if we can make things work. We're kind of channeling our inner kind of Brazil in the 70s with the 4-2-4. And really now it is a 4-2-4 with the wingers on attack. Let's try and make something happen. Merry in the wide area. Gives it back to Dylan Crowe. He's going to play it forward to Merry. There's options in the middle. Merry squares it. LeBrent Mabulu scores. And 2 minutes into the half, it's actually worked. Sometimes you have an idea that's so dumb it's smart. Today might be that day. I'm hoping that with them playing a 4 at the back, we can match their 4 at the back with 4 up front and make something like this happen. I thought for a second NLBM was going to just smash it wide, but no, he's found, I was going to say the bottom corner. That's generous to him. It was an open goal. He nearly missed it, but it did cross the line. First shot on target, first goal, not going to complain. I don't want to say we've got them rocked, and I don't know when they changed their system here. They've gone to a 5-2-3. They are shaking. Looking at the average position, I think this must be a change they made at half-time because the average positions for the entire game show clearly a 4-3-3. They're shaking. They're getting nervous. We're having some chances. There's only 25 minutes left. I should change some more stuff. I'm going to bring in Kai Livingston and move Merry out into this wide area. I am going to move him to an inside forward on attack, I think. Cutting in on his right foot. Kyle's not had the best of games today. Tyler Forbes, on you come. Elsewhere, Osborne's looking nervous in the midfield. I'm going to bring in Iwemene for some fresh legs. Triple change made, 20 minutes left. I'm staying on attack here. I feel like we've got them scared. That's what I'm going to tell myself. They've not done as much in this second half. That has to be acknowledged. 15 minutes left here. I mean, maybe this is just the way we should play. Maybe we just don't do any of that defending. Just stick 4 players on attack, have everyone else defend. Maybe that's the strategy to win at Football Manager this year. Ball played forward. LeBrent Mabulu, I was going to say, is in pursuit. It's a very laboured attempt by the striker to chase down the ball. Livingston, though, gets it in a good area. LeBrent Mabulu plays it forward to Merry. He's cutting inside, and he smashed it over. That was a good chance. If things stay as they are, we're going to a replay. I don't know how that's going to fit into the upload schedule. I have no idea what we're going to do. We'll figure it out on the fly. There's still 2 minutes left. I shouldn't plan ahead. I'm staying on attack. Nothing is happening. York City 1, Guernsey 1. That's a historic result. And I'll be honest, we were actually way, way better in the second half when we just showed them a lot less respect and tried to get the ball forward quickly. Jack Bycroft in goal got an 8.1. Jack, mate, I forgive you for the last goalkeeping game because you were superb today. I did say pre-game a draw might be the best result. I stand by that statement. York City will see you tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean next episode as opposed to literally tomorrow. Playing them twice in 2 days would be mental. Sorry, Bognor Regis, we're delaying our game again, lads. We'll see you in a few more weeks. The bank balance definitely has gone up off the back of today's games. That is only a good thing, and hopefully we can make it through against York, or at least get a good payday when we take them on at home next time. I've already recorded one outro. I need to do it again because I got too excited. I was just going on about York City, but tomorrow we play York again. We will also do that game against Bognor Regis because they have gone ahead of us with that defeat that we had midweek. So first versus second in the league. A rematch against York. We might try and find a third game to do as well. Today has been absolutely bonkers. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on the video. It helps feed it into the YouTube algorithm and helps more people find the videos. Next time out, we take on York. Tomorrow's going to be an absolute banger of an episode. I will see you guys for that then. And until tomorrow, it's me, Jack. I'm going to go try and calm down. I'll see you in a bit. I'm out.